My friends, I asked you all if you would like to see a video of skincare recommendations for the Sephora VIB sale, and you all voted yes. I am going to attempt to appease those of you who also voted for the what not to buy in the Sephora VIB sale by making today's video a best and worst of Sephora skincare. As always, timestamps and links are in the description box below. As always, quick disclaimer, this video is only my opinions. Feel free to share your thoughts as well in the comment section. I do not have any problem with people disagreeing with my perspectives. Again, as I'm sure you saw if you did see my original post, which I guess a lot of people didn't see that, but if you did see my post, you know that the Sephora VIB sale is not my absolute favorite sale. However, to Sephora's credit, I do have to say I like this new system of sharing the 20% off discount with a friend. I think that is a step in the right direction. But I do want to take this time to reiterate, please don't ever feel like you have to shop any of these sales, Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, Sephora VIB sale. There will always be more sales out there. If this is not a good time to shop, I promise it is not the last sale. And again, if you are somebody who is on a tighter budget, if you are not a VIB Rouge, if you're getting, you know, the 10% off discount, check out my video on Urban Outfitters. I'm telling y'all. That video did very poorly in terms of YouTube analytics, and it's just further proof of the fact that nobody knows Urban Outfitters is such a good place to get really good deals. Really good deals. Okay, one more thing, one more elephant in the room. This is my first time ever filming in my glasses. They're absolutely prescription. Oh yeah. I feel like you can probably already see at this point in the video why I don't film in glasses too much, but at the same time I do want to start wearing them more, so I'm just gonna kind of dip my toes in the water and see if you're all okay with me filming in glasses or if the glare is too frustrating. If you have been a subscriber to this channel for quite some time, please make sure you have your bingo cards ready because chances are high you can guess the majority of this video. Hey, if you're new, this is a great video to start with this channel. You'll really get an idea of my perspective on skincare. Oh, and I should also add, my own skin type is dry, acne prone, and a little bit sensitive. But I'm actually not wearing any foundation products, any concealer today. I am wearing sunscreen and a little bit of blush, but I'm happy with my skin. It took a long time to get to this point, but I'm happy with my skin, I gotta say. I'm gonna play it safe in today's video and start with my top 5 with an honorary 6th because I can't help myself. And so bingo cards ready. The first product I'm going to pull out is the Sulwhasoo Overnight Vitalizing Mask. Oh, Sulwhasoo, I love you. I don't want to love you, but I do love you. If you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, chances are you've heard me talk about ginseng and probably even Sulwhasoo, because what I will tell you about this brand is, if you are somebody who is just dying to spend a lot of money in this Sephora sale, you want to try some luxury skincare, truth be told, there is only one brand that I can recommend to you, and that is Sulwhasoo. Dior, Chanel, all the other expensive brands, I mean, buy their lipsticks if you want. They have beautiful lipsticks, but the skincare, in my personal, humblest of opinions, leaves a lot to be desired, whereas Sulwhasoo, man, it's so good. It is ginseng-based skincare, which I've talked a lot about. It is out of my budget, so I prefer to buy from the Innbeauty brand. But if you do want to try this brand, in particular, the Overnight Vitalizing Mask is such a good place to start because even though this brand does offer $300 moisturizers, if you want to spend that much, this one is kind of shockingly affordable. It's not the most inexpensive product on the market, but it's also not expensive in terms of price per ounce, and it will give you the chance to dip your toes into the world of ginseng. I've noticed most of the ginseng brands use that characteristic hanbang scent, which is a smell that I think, as is the case with all scents, I think some people are going to love it and some people probably not, but you will get to try it in this product. It's not as strong as it is in other products, and my goodness, the results that I see from this mask, I I just can't go without it. I've tried to pretend it's not among my absolute favorite products because it still is expensive, but it gives me such this incredible glow, this amazing hydration. It really nourishes your skin. Now do keep in mind, if you want to get maximum impact from this, layer it on top of another moisturizer at night. 4.05 fluid ounces of product in here. It's still gonna last you a long time. And again, if you love it, you might want to explore more ginseng products, including their more expensive products, or again, you could look into Innbeauty if you want a very similar concept for a little bit less money. Do you see how hard it is for me to make recommendations in that really expensive price range? Let's just get SK-II out of the way. This is another expensive product, but as somebody who has tried a lot of skincare in my life, it is one of few that consistently ranks among my favorites, even though it is a very expensive product. Now, if you stay tuned to this channel, I am planning this week to give you the comparison of Fresh's Essence versus a K-Beauty dupe. And I will give you a small spoiler, that one went a lot more like I was hoping it would. A while ago, I put SK-II up against a K-Beauty dupe, and all it proved to me is just how good SK-II is. Drat! That was not what I was going for. I wanted to find an affordable alternative. There really is something special to SK-II, and in particular, I saw it in how it helped me personally with my hyperpigmentation. I did not expect that from a product that doesn't have any actives, a product that is, fully non-irritating. You don't have to really worry what you are combining it with. It's just so easy to use, and yet it brightened my face to a level that I've never seen another fermented product accomplish. The tricky thing about SK-II and all of the fermented products is that when you look at the ingredients list, that galactomyces ferment filtrate or Saccharomyces in some other products, it just doesn't actually tell you as much as you might hope it would. It's kind of a little bit like the ingredient fragrance. Maybe I shouldn't say that because that has a negative connotation for some people, but it is kind of similar in that fragrance can include so many different compounds, right? Same thing with galactomyces in that what kind of galactomyces? How was it fermented? How was it filtered? And I think that's the reason why two products can have what appears to be such a similar ingredients list, and yet SK-II just continues to knock it out of the park. Now again, I don't think everybody needs to purchase this. If you are somebody who is going, what is skin brightening? I don't understand what that means. Then in all truth, I really don't think you need to worry about SK-II. I don't think you have to drop the money on it. It's one of those things where, I really want to make sure I'm clear on why I like this so much so people don't waste their money if you don't yet have the issues that SK-II would address. But did it live up to the hype for me? Absolutely. I don't like to have expensive favorites, and yet SK-II is one of them. Let's go ahead and keep the bingo cards going because I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about LED therapy. I am. You just saw this in a video. I have been a consistent user of LED therapy for over 2 years at this point, and I am going to say I think the Dr. Dennis Gross Spectralite mask is a very good choice specifically for any of you who have kind of very similar skin concerns to me. If you are somebody who somehow deals with acne while at the same time watching your birthday cake get more and more of a gigantic flame on top of it. We celebrated my birthday over the weekend, and my brother was sitting there next to me and he said, you gotta blow out these candles. Look, the wax is starting to drip into the cake. Please just blow them out. I did not expect to be at the age that I am and still be dealing with acne, but here we are, and that is why I really like this mask in particular. I like red light therapy. I think that is a really good choice for anti-aging. Blue light, I genuinely do not think you need it if you do not also deal with acne. Frankly, there's not any additional benefits to blue light like there are with red light. However, again, Dr. Dennis Gross is the only mask I found that combines both the red and the blue light programs into one. I've talked kind of a lot about this mask on this channel, so I'll just link another video if you're interested. There are things I don't like about it. You see how I don't have the straps on it, the warranty, you gotta know some things about that, so definitely check out that video. And one more thing, I would highly recommend you buy some goggles, especially because this mask does use blue light as well. But that said, I'm a believer in LED therapy. In terms of research, LED is leading above something like microcurrent or radio frequency, even though I do like those as well. The science is there with LED, mostly there. I would still like to see more studies on home devices personally, but anecdotally, I love my LED masks. My fourth pick is actually something that is more on the affordable side. Again, this shouldn't be something that surprises people too much because while I do really like Korean eye creams, there is one exception. I do like Western brightening eye creams. And I recently bought the Innbeauty Bright and Tight Eye Cream, well, within the last few months. I have been blown away by this product. I think it is just absolutely an instantly gorgeous product. It does have cosmetic benefits to it, but it also does have vitamin C, tranexamic acid, peptides. It's almost like a slight concealer, like a very, very light concealer. That also gives you long-term benefits. And I love this category. I do think this is one of the best I've tried. However, make sure you don't over-apply this. That's the one catch. You want to use the tiniest amount or you will experience pilling. But especially if you are somebody who does want to start going fully foundation and concealer free, you really might like this category. This Innbeauty one, it's gorgeous. My fifth product is this Tatcha Silk Sunscreen. Now, I'm still gonna be honest with you about what I don't like about this product. The packaging. It finally happened to me. I have never traveled with this. I always keep it in my home. I have different sunscreens that I keep in my bag. And yet, the packaging is still peeling off, even on mine. I cannot imagine trying to travel with this. Supposedly, they've updated the packaging. I sure hope that is true because you should not pay $60, $48 with 20% off, and have packaging that peels. Tatcha. But honestly, it is my absolute favorite mineral sunscreen that I've ever tried. Now here's the catch. I absolutely love the filters that are used in lots of Korean as well as Japanese sunscreens. I am so floored that those work for me because I am somebody who is sensitive to chemical filters. I don't think they are, inherently bad, but I do tend to react to certain chemical filters. So I've just kind of avoided almost all US chemical sunscreens and relied upon mineral, and mineral sunscreens can feel drying. This one is the exception. This one is actually SPF 50 and they even disclose it is PA4+, which is mind-blowing. You just don't usually see that in US sunscreens. And finally, this one is also water resistant for I believe up to 80 minutes, which is another characteristic that is really hard to find in Japanese and Korean sunscreens. So it ends up being one of those products where I don't think everyone needs to run out and buy it. Frankly, if you can use chemical filters, you're in a good place. You're in a good place. There's lots of nice Western sunscreens that do use chemical filters. But if you're sensitive, and especially if you have a dry skin type as well, the hunt for the perfect mineral sunscreen can be just absolutely exhausting, only to realize that 99% of them feel drying. Tatcha came through with this one. I do think it is, again, very, very expensive, but it's well done. I cannot deny that it is a gorgeous sunscreen, and I am wearing this again today as well. I feel like it does have a little bit of a blurring effect. It's a good sunscreen. And y'all know I say that as somebody who isn't even that big of a fan of Tatcha. They did a good job on that sunscreen. I have an honorary mention. I feel like I really want to make sure I include this product, even though I personally don't buy this one from Sephora, and that is the Peace Out Repairing Moisturizer. First of all, this one is actually pretty inexpensive, thus really proving that I don't feel you need to spend $300 on moisturizers. This one is a really nice moisturizer. It's fragrance-free, it contains ceramides, it contains coenzyme Q10, it contains bakuchiol rosehip oil, and the interesting characteristic about this is that this is a repairing moisturizer that's not heavy. I do feel like most brands expect people who want repair to want very heavy moisturizers. And yeah, that's pretty true for me. But I recognize not everybody wants that, and that's why I really do respect and love this product. It is a wonderful, even daytime repairing moisturizer for me. I think it is incredibly well done. However, Peace Out recently came to Ulta, which is actually how I ended up getting this restocked. I had originally purchased it, but they sent me another for their Ulta release, and consistently, Peace Out's own website has had some pretty darn good sales. 30% off is pretty common with the Peace Out website. So I don't think you need to save up and buy it at 20% off at Sephora, but I did want to mention it because it's such a good example of a more affordable, really nice moisturizer. Okay, moving on to the bottom 5. Again, this is really hard to just choose the 5 worst skincare products at Sephora. But I do feel a good place to start this conversation is probably with a cleanser that I've hated on for years, none other than the Youth to the People Superfood cleanser. I'm gonna tell you honestly, I finally realized that this has the same kind of feel to it as a lot of Korean cleansers. It took me a while to realize how to use Korean cleansers, the trick being to use less versus more, but this isn't really a justification for buying this. Instead, what I'm hoping to communicate here is, well, then you can just buy some Korean cleansers that are a quarter of the price of this if you do happen to like this. However, I still want to bring up cleansers because I have said it for years at this point. I really think the most important characteristic in your cleanser is for it to be an effective cleanser. Which ultimately means I do not think you need to buy expensive cleansers. A lot of them have all kinds of claims, including this one. This is claiming it has all of these great antioxidants in it. But we don't really know that those antioxidants are effectively penetrating into your skin in a wash-off product. So to me, the category of cleansers is truly something where I think you can save. You know, in the great save versus splurge debate, cleansers gets my top pick in terms of where to save your coin. And because I'm me, I also do have to bring up Acne Care. In all fairness, this product right here is a product I really clearly have not tried enough to have formed an opinion on, so it's nothing personal against you, Murad, I promise. But I did want to share my long-running experience that I tried all these really expensive Sephora acne treatments, and my solutions were at the drugstore. Namely, in the CeraVe Acne Foaming Cream Cleanser, see? As well as adapalene, be it through Differin or through La Roche-Posay. Those were the biggest game changers for me in terms of acne. For me, all the money that I spent at Sephora for years and years on Acne Care, it was kind of, I'm not gonna say just wasted, but I do regret thinking that I had to spend more on Acne Care when, again, the actual solutions were affordable. Ultimately, my point of including an acne treating product in this video is just to say I would not rely personally, at least entirely, on Acne Care at Sephora. I do still like Kate Somerville's Eradicate, but there's not a lot of other Acne Care products that I have felt really made that big of an impact, again, at Sephora. Which is probably a good transition into the Tower28 Intensive Rescue Serum. This one is almost an empty. It will be in my next empties video, but I did want to make sure to include it in this video because I do have to admit I'm pretty disappointed in this product. It is a product that is supposed to help with those of us who do have blemish-prone skin, acne-prone skin, and yet whoa, this is so expensive for what it is. Thus being kind of another good example of why I'm saying if you are looking for acne treatments at Sephora, I just don't think it's the best place to start. But the other detail is, I don't entirely know why they came out with this product. It is so similar to their mist that it just feels like, why not just buy the mist? Because if you do choose to buy the serum, you're getting just a slightly thicker mist, and you are gonna battle with the pump. It just does not come out nicely. It sprays everywhere, so you're spending extra money on a Sephora product for treating acne, where you get about half of it in the end, I feel. But honestly, I do like hypochlorous acid. I do think it is a good antibacterial ingredient, which means if your acne is bacterial in nature, this may really help you. However, I don't think you should buy the serum. I think the mist is better. I think there are lots of other mist options for hypochlorous acid on Amazon. I have not personally tried those, but I have anecdotally heard that they give very similar results. What I will tell you though is I was looking at the upcoming Sephora favorite sets, and the mist will be in a Sephora favorite set. I'll put a picture up if I can find it again on the website. I will probably buy that in the VIB sale. So again, this isn't me saying I hate Tower28 at all. I actually really like the brand. I just don't think you need the serum if you want the mist. I still think it's expensive, but with everything else you get in that set, it's nice. It might be worth it. This next one is going to be a little hard for me, but it's a conversation that I think we do need to have. And so, I did receive this kind of new brand to Sephora in PR. This is Macrene Actives, and this is their high-performance lip filler. This little thing retails for $95 for 0.2 fluid ounces. I have to admit I was excited about getting this. I was really looking forward to trying it. It's a high-performance lip filler, and apparently this is a doctor-owned brand, and they say that their goal is to create products that make it so you no longer need lip filler. They want to make, the cosmetic procedures obsolete via topical products. That's awesome. As somebody who, I don't have any problems with people getting Botox or any kind of procedures. You do you. But I personally am terrified of needles. I'm terrified of them. Do you understand how hard it was for me to actually make this eye doctor appointment because of that stupid puff of air machine? Ugh, I hate that thing, but you know what? They don't even do it anymore. I mean, they do, but it's not like it used to be anyway. Sorry for tangent, I do have a video recommendation for you though. I'll link it in the description box below. I was so happy walking out of my eye doctor appointment. I talked about it for at least a week to the people in my life. They just all heard me going, the eye doctor is the best thing. It's the best thing in 2023. I am telling you, it is nothing like it used to be. I love the eye doctor now. So anyway, I got this in, I started trying it, and on the first use, I was just so disappointed. I was going, this is $95. First of all, it's hard to get the product out. It's a roller ball. Very hard to get it out. But secondly, what is in the ingredients that is so stellar here? I did a little more digging on this brand, and they say that they are the first brand to ever use hyaluronic acid in their products. I don't know if that's the flex y'all think it is. For as hard of a conversation as this is to have, I do think it is an important one, and that is, while this is a dermatologist-owned brand, and I thoroughly respect the work of dermatologists, I truly, appreciate everything they do, the effort that goes into getting their degree, the effort that goes into their work. However, I have been disappointed by some of the very expensive products that they offer. And I want to be clear, this is not any kind of commentary on saying anything negative about dermatologists. This is at the product level purely. I do think that sometimes you find products where the price is elevated because of who owns it, and yet when you actually use the product, it's just not better than some of the more affordable options. Again, speaking of lip products, Grande Pout. Grande Pout to me is just so much better than this. So much better and so much more affordable. And then finally, who would I be if I didn't bring up the Augustinus Bader cream? But with an addendum, I want to mention this video yet again and this product because something so interesting has happened with the video I posted about Augustinus Bader. You know, you'll hear so many good things about this product and this entire brand, but I did not have a good experience. I had a reaction. Now, reactions are something where, again, a small portion of the population is likely to experience that. But what's so funny is if you look at that video and you look at the comments, there are so many people in the comment section who had the exact same reaction to that product. What I want to make sure to say is that can happen, again, with any product because there are so many factors that go into our skin that makes it different from other people's. But I want to make sure to add on an important note. I do think that what's happened with that video is the small portion of the population who has had a reaction to that product likely went onto YouTube because, you know, it's not an inexpensive product. We were all kind of upset about it. They went onto YouTube and typed in Augustinus Bader reaction, found my video, and so that is why we have such a large number of people on that video expressing the same exact thing happened to them. So I do think my point here is just keep in mind that this is a potential reality of skincare. It of course does not mean that most people will have a bad reaction, but it is a possibility, and it's why I really think, you know, don't do what I did. I bought a product that I'd heard all this hype about. Don't do that. Buy products that are for your skin type, for your needs, and it is far better if you've actually sampled them in advance and know that it will work out for you. Even though I had, anyway, it's a long story as far as what happened in that video, but you know, it still was a very frustrating experience, let me tell you. But my friends, that brings us to the end of today's video. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you're going to be buying. I'm actually really looking forward to that set. It has quite a few products I've been eyeing in it. But that's it for today's video. If you found it helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next time.